Hello dear students of the third prep grade, and welcome to a new episode of our program. This is our weekly episode of science, and on this episode we'll be having lesson 3 of unit 1 solutions with our teacher of science, Mr. Muhammad Mahmoud, and we'll be receiving your phone calls on our phone number 257-56187. So if you've got any questions, do give us a call. Now let me first welcome our guest teacher, Mr. Muhammad Mahmoud. Hello, Mr. Muhammad, and welcome to the program.
Hello, yes, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Miss you.
Yeah. It's a very hot day.
Yes, and miss you the previous episode.
Yeah, thank you. I missed you too.
Thank
All
you.
right, Mr. Muhammad, let us begin by talking about solutions and explain to us what is meant by solutions.
Okay, firstly, how are you, dear students? Today we have a very interesting lesson. This lesson talking about that solution. As we studied before in the primary stage, we have to know what is meant by mixture, and as a type from these mixtures, we have to know the solutions. So here we talk about the solution as as a solution, as a cup of tea, as a lemon juice, as many things around us. يعني في حاجات كتير قوي we can talk about it as a solution. So here we have to know what is meant by solution. Solution is a type of mixture, as we studied before in primary stage. In 5th primary, we know solution is a type of mixture. يعني هو solution considered as mixture, but has specific properties. عنده صفات محددة to call it as solution.
So, and is there a difference here between solutions and liquids in general?
Liquids, according to, if we have a water only, we will talk here about not solution. Should be consist of 2 substances, at least, maybe more than 2.
So a solution is a liquid, but
yes,
not
liquid,
all
but consists. Yes, yes, you were right in this point. Here, let's go to start with what is meant by a solution. As we know, solution from the primary stage. Let's go to start with the first point in our lesson today. زي ما احنا شايفين قدامنا, solution is a homogeneous mixture in composition and properties. Homogeneous, which means يعني متجانس زي ما نقولها بالعربي. يبقى solution is a homogeneous mixture in composition and. So the first point, as we put sugar with water, as you see in front of you, we have sugar and water here, form a solution. To call this mixture as a solution, the components homogeneous or homogeneous in composition and properties, or as lemon juice, as we form a new solution here as lemon juice. Here, as you see in front of you, we have solution consists of what? 2 parts, as homogeneous mixture in composition and properties. ده معنى كلمة solution generally. So how can we detect the components or the structure of solution? هنعرف components بتاعته, or consists of what as a solution. As we studied before in primary stage, we have 2 components of solution. On the monitor, please. We have here, number 1, as you see, solute, and number 2, solvent. How can we differentiate between solute and solvent? Any solution consists of solute, يعني اللي بيدوب, solvent يعني اللي بيدوب. So we will start solute as a small amount in solution. As we prepare a cup or glass of lemon juice, عصير ليمون مثلا, we have water, lemon and sugar. Water is the large amount. طبعا الووتر بتبقى أكتر حاجة. We talk about small amount as what? As sugar here, as lemon, as salt in some solutions. So we can call salt or sugar as solute. Why بنقول عليهم solute? Because they are the small amount in solution. Okay, as we see here. And we have solvent. We have what? Solvent. large amount in solution. هو الحاجة الأكبر اللي موجودة في السولوشن, like the famous or the most popular solvent in our life as water. So here we talk about solution, as you see in front of you, consists of solvent and solute. The solute distributed in solvent, يعني الsolute هنا بتتوزع جوه الsolvent, and has homogeneous composition and properties. بيبقوا متجانسين مع بعض, عشان كده بنسميه أو we call this mixture as solution. So dear students, we know now. Number one, as we see here, نرجع تاني كده نبص تاني اهو, we have solution as a homogeneous mixture in composition and properties. As we see, we form solution from sugar and water, and finally we have here what we have, lemon juice, orange juice, cup of tea, cup of coffee. Okay, so here we have consists of number one solute and number two solvent. واحد يقول لي لا انا عايز اقول solvent and solute as you like, but we should know solute small amount in solution as sugar or salt, and solvent large amount in solution as water, as a most popular solvent in our life. So the next point in our lesson today, dear students, after we know the solution here, we have types of solution. Not all solutions like each other. كلهم مش زي بعض, يعني عندنا في difference between the types of solution. يعني for example, we have cup of tea as a solution, we have lemon juice as a solution, we have many things as a solution. Okay.
Yeah, we've got our caller,
okay.
Salma from Cairo. Hello, Salma, how are you?
Hello, Teresa, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Give reason for, okay.
Silver nitrate is used in manufacturing of sensitive photographic film.
Silver nitrate
Is used in manufacturing.
Is used in the manufacture of
Sensitive photographic film.
Okay, is this your only question?
You have another one?
Yeah, it's a complete form.
Yeah.
Okay, number one, silver nitrate is used in manufacturing of sensitive
Photographic film.
Yes.
And another one, space and space
Space
are examples of atoms.
Space and space
are examples of atoms.
are examples of what?
Atoms.
While space and space
Yeah.
are examples of minerals.
Yeah. So you have a choice to choose whatever you like, I guess.
Yes. Examples of minerals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other question?
You have
Salma?
another question?
No, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Salma, for calling, and do watch us. You'll get your answer right away. Okay, Mr. Muhammad, so let us begin by her first question.
Okay, silver nitrate is used in manufacturing of photographic films. As we will study in this lesson, today we will talk about the silver nitrate as a salt or mineral used in manufacturing of photographic films, because silver nitrate, here we will talk about the kind of silver nitrate. Silver nitrate is a silver is a very sensitive, silver لوحده اللي هو الفضة نفسه, very sensitive element and inactive element. So we use silver nitrate in manufacturing of photographic films. As give reason for, we can answer here according to silver is inactive metal, as we studied before, less active than hydrogen in chemical activity series. So nitrate in photographic films. Here we have examples of atom. We can make, we can call here many examples of atoms. نكتب examples كتير قوي على atoms. As we can say, for example, مثلا sodium atom, we can say potassium atom, but we should here write minerals. We salts here, salts, يعني minerals as salts. We can say, for example, calcium carbonate, Okay, calcium carbonate here as an example of salt, and we will know today calcium carbonate is used in manufacturing of for mixture. And we can say sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is used in salting. نستخدمه في التمليح نفسه and preservation of food. So we can say or can write many examples of minerals. So let's go, dear students, to complete our lesson today. We have to know here the solution and the types of solution. We know the solution. عرفنا مكوناته ايه. And we have another type or another point in our lesson today as the types of solution. ايه انواع السولوشن اللي عندنا؟ يعني في فرق طبعا هنا to know the difference between the components. Any solution consists of solute and solvent. At the same time we should know the types of solutions. عشان sometimes in exams we have types of solution are, we have three types. The component of any solution is two components, solute and solvent. So let's go to start with what? With the types of solution. نبتدي بالtypes of solution. Number one, as you see here in front of you, types of solution. Number one, unsaturated solution. As we see here, يعني غير مشبع زي ما بيسموه بالعربي. يعني we can more solute can dissolve in solvent at constant temperature without heating. Add more solute in this water as we add sugar or salt in this cup of water. More solute can dissolve in solvent. At what? At constant temperature, because this condition is very important. طب خلي بالنا ان الشرط مهم at constant temperature يعني without increasing in the temperature من غير تسخين. So we call this solution as what solution? As unsaturated solution. طيب we have saturated solution as you see here. Saturated solution. Saturated solution, we can say more solute can't dissolve in solvent or can't be dissolved in solvent at constant temperature. يعني لو حطيت solute زيادة here ما يقدرش يدوب. We can see a precipitate أو راصب at the bottom of the cup or the glass. الاقي سكر موجود تحت. يبقى this solution is saturated, which means more solute can't dissolve in solvent but at the same condition at constant temperature في درجة حرارة ثابتة. Okay, and here we have precipitation. بصوا, during the time as we see here we have more solute can't be dissolved in solvent. So here we talk about what saturated solution, يعني شبعان ما يقدرش يدوب تاني. يبقى more solute can't dissolve in solvent. The third type is pre or super saturated solution. ممكن اسميه pre saturated or super saturated. Both is right. So here more solute can dissolve in solvent but by increasing temperature يعني بالتسخين. As we prepare the artificial honey لما بيعملوا العسل الصناعي sugar in water صح, بيحطوا سكر على ميه. by heating, here we increase the temperature. Why we increase the temperature? Increase the intermolecular space between the molecules so more solute can be dissolved by increasing temperature. خلي بالنا من الكونديشن ده مهم جدا. So here, dear students, we have three types of solutions. Saturated يعني مشبع. Okay. Number two, unsaturated. Number three, pre or super saturated. نبتدي بمين؟ بالاnsaturated اللي هو لسه ما شبعش. يبقى more solute لان احنا عارفين ان any solution consists of solute and solvent. So more solute can be but at constant temperature, at room temperature في درجة الحرارة اللي فيها without heating or cooling. Okay? As we put مثلا lemon juice, I taste this lemon juice, but I prefer to add more or another extra spoon of sugar. عايز معلقة سكر زيادة. And I will put this spoon of sugar, يبقى more solute here, can dissolve in solvent.
So I have a question here. An excess of the solute cannot be dissolved in space solution.
Cannot be dissolved in saturated.
Yeah.
Cannot be dissolved in saturated اللي هو شبعان.
So an excess of the solute
excess here
cannot
which
be
means more.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Cannot be dissolved in saturated solution.
Saturated. For example, if you are hungry, you want to eat.
If I'm not hungry.
Yes. You want to eat.
No, but
as a normal person.
As a normal person, no.
Okay, يبقى هنا saturated
So
يعني
you have an
شبعان.
idea I'm not normal?
no. We talk about without joking here.
Yeah.
About solution here. Solution is a saturated solution.
Yeah.
So yes, sir. Here in this case is a saturated solution.
Yeah.
Because more solid can't be dissolved in solvent.
Yeah.
Maybe me as a super saturated because I am fat than you. عشان يعني كده يبقى هنا as a super saturated solution more solute can dissolve in solvent by increasing temperature. If we increase the temperature, the intermolecular spaces, as we studied before in first prep, خدنا قبل كده في أولى إعدادي, the intermolecular spaces will increase, so more solute can be dissolved in solvent.
All right, we've got a caller, Rahab from Cairo.
Okay.
Hello, Rahab.
الو مساء الخير.
مساء الخير.
ممكن اسال مستر اسئله لو سمحت؟
اوكي اتفضلي مدام رحاب.
مستر لو سمحت عندي سؤال give reason for.
Give reason for. اتفضلي.
السؤال بيقول in super saturated solution.
Super saturated. Okay. Solution.
Solution more solute.
Solution more solute.
Can be dissolved.
Can be dissolved
In solvent.
in solvents. Okay, you have another question?
Yes.
Okay.
Compare between.
Compare between
Acid.
acids
And alkyls.
and alkalis or
Acids.
bases. Okay.
Any other question?
You have another one?
Merci.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Rahab from Cairo.
Okay, here we have two questions, dear students. As number one, as we talk with Mr. Yasser from few minutes, we talk about the super saturated solution. Super saturated solution يعني فوق مشبع. يعني زي ما بنعمل artificial honey زي ما قلت اللي هو العسل الصناعي بيعملوه ازاي؟ In any.
It's just like a sponge, you know.
Yes, here يعني for as a shape, yes.
Yeah.
So here we put more sugar in the same amount of water. But this amount of water can, the more solute هنا as a normal temperature في درجة الحرارة العادية, no more solute can be dissolved in solvent because this solution is saturated, okay? How can we make this solution as a super saturated? By heating, because the intermolecular space increase, so more solute can be dissolved in solvent as appetizer. هنعتبره فاتح شهية. ان انا شبعان وانا هاخد اكتر, يبقى هنا الابيتايزر بتاعنا او فاتح الشاي بتاعنا اللي هو الهيتنج اللي هو increasing the intermolecular space. يبقى نكتب الانسر ازاي؟ اقول له because, نكتبها هنا كده, اقول له because by heating the intermolecular space or spaces increase, okay, so more solutes can be dissolved in solvents. يبقى اكتر هنا يدوب لانه by increasing temperature. What here we talk about here the intermolecular space, يعني هنا زودنا intermolecular space هنا by heating increase the intermolecular space.
All right, she's got another question, but Delay it till we get to this call. Islam from... Okay. Try to get to us once again, Islam.
Okay.
All right. The other question, compare
between acids and bases. As we studied before in first prep also, here we talk about the comparison here between acids and bases. Okay. As we studied before, acids here, dear students, and bases. Acids change litmus paper into a into red. Change litmus paper into what color here? We talk about red color. يبقى change litmus paper into red. Bases change litmus paper into what here, dear students? Into blue. Into what? Into blue. So here we should differentiate between acids and bases according to change in the litmus paper. At the same time, acids produce positive hydrogen ion. Produce positive hydrogen ion. Please on the monitor. تمام؟ يبقى هنا produce positive hydrogen ion زي ما احنا كده. Okay? And here bases produce negative hydroxide ion. لو انا عملتها كده اهوت اهو هكتبها تاني OH negative. Okay? يبقى acids produce positive hydrogen ion and bases produce negative ion. The difference ما بينهم as changing litmus paper into red and changing litmus paper into what? Into blue here, and change hey produce positive hydrogen ion in water, and here produce negative hydroxide ion in what? In water. ده بيطلع OH negative in water. Okay. So now, dear students, let's go to complete our lesson today. As we know here, the saturated, supersaturated, and pre-saturated or unsaturated solution. As last one, pre-saturated, more solid can be dissolved in solvent by increasing temperature or by heating, as we see here in front view in the monitor.
Are we done with all the questions we've got?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, yes.
All right. We've got another caller, Ahmed from Qina. Hello, Ahmed.
الو السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
ازي حضرتك يا مستر؟
ازيك يا
ازيك يا
احمد؟ عامل ايه؟
عامل ايه؟
تمام الحمد لله. حضرتك انا كان عندي بس كويستشن واحد وكنت عايزه اسال.
طب اوكي، you have a question. طب
إيه؟
your question firstly.
ماشي اوكي. حضرتك يا مستر في ليسن 2 بيجيب لي جراف اللي بيبقى جايب لي كده شيت زي المليمتر شيت وجايب لي فيها الجراف بتاعت الكونسنتريشن بتاعت الكومباوند.
بتاعت النيتروجين بنتوكسايد.
النيتروجين بنتوكسايد وكده يعني وابلكيشنز على الجراف ده.
تمام.
حضرتك الجراف دي تيجي في الامتحان؟
maybe بس هنا لازم اعرف ال increasing or decreasing. يعني انا مثلا عندي one of them as 100 and decrease to 0. This reactant or product?
لا دي كده reactant.
Reactant, excellent. One from 0 and it start to increase to 100. So we have here products according to at the beginning and at the end of the chemical reaction as we studied before at the previous episode. لما خدنا في الحلقة اللي فاتت الكلام ده. فهمتني كده كويس؟ يبقى انا I will follow the line. If increase we talk about reactants. Sorry, products. If we decrease we talk about reactants. Okay? You want any question here? Okay?
Let me ask him.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Ahmed, calcium carbonates is used in the manufacture of what and what?
Yes.
Okay, just a minute.
You'll check your answer. My
Calcium
question.
carbonate is used in manufacturing of glass and cement.
Excellent.
Yeah.
In glass and cement industries. Okay, you have another question here. 4. No reaction between copper and the hydrochloric acid.
Because copper can't replace hydrogen in the hydrochloric acid as hydrogen is less, as copper is less active than hydrogen, as also copper comes under hydrogen in CAS, chemical activity series.
Because copper less active, just we can say in the answer copper less active than hydrogen in the chemical activity series, not after or before as a place. less active or more active. Your answer like that. خليها كده more active or less
Less
active.
active.
Okay. Thank you, Ahmed.
Okay, thank you, Ahmed. Thank you very much and good luck. Ahmed is one of the top students actually,
Yes.
and he always phones us. He's a
Follow
friend of the
follow
program.
us every episode.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Here we have a pre-saturated last point. Here we can see a more solid can dissolve in solvent by increasing temperature. زي ما احنا شايفين بالتسخين انا بجبره ان هو more solid can be dissolved in solvent. So here, dear students, we have types of mixtures. واحد يقول لي ايه ده؟ انت قلت solution. Solution is a homogeneous mixture in composition and properties. طيب يعني solution هو mixture. اقول له اه. But we have mixtures يعني like for example sand in water. Sand in water. ده solution? Sand in water considered as a solution? No, not solution. It's a mixture.
Yeah.
But not a solution, because if we can differentiate between solutes by our naked eyes بعينينا كده انا بقدر يبقى solution. Solution has a homogeneous properties and composition. We can't differentiate between the particles of solute and solvent by our naked eyes. يبقى لازم افرق ما بين types of mixtures as another types of solution. Okay, as we see here, we have types of mixtures as number one, homogeneous. Here, solute distributed regularly. Solute distributed regularly in solvent. يبقى اللي انا بتكلم عليه ده هو مين؟ هو mixture homogeneous mixture as solution. يبقى لو حد قال لي يعني مين الهوموجينيوس mixture اقول له هو solution. Okay.
All right, Mr. Muhammad, we have to stop for a while. We'll be back, so stick around. So we are back, dear students of the third prep grade, and let us carry on with our lesson. We're talking about solutions with Mr. Muhammad. Mr. Muhammad, I'd like to see this. I'd like to see the solutions and the mixtures and to between them. Do you have any videos to show us?
Okay, here we have a video to define solution and mixtures by water. Yani we will use one solvent in both of them. Okay. Okay, we have here video on the monitor. Here we have, as we see, cup 3 glasses contains water زي ما احنا شايفين قدامنا. One we put sand اللي هي left one left side اللي هي اول واحده على الشمال حاطين فيها رمله. Sugar in the second one, and a third one we put salt. Okay, and then we will try to dissolve each one of them. We try to dissolve each one of them in the cup of water. After we dissolve each one of them in the cup of water or in this container, we can see sugar dissolve, salt dissolve, but sand. So here we have 3 are mixtures. الثلاثة mixtures. But the left one اللي هو left one from the side يعني left side one ده يعتبر ايه؟ mixture بس. يعتبر what mixture? Non-homogeneous mixture. Because distributed irregularly in solvent and we can them by naked eyes. ممكن افرق ما بينهم ادي الساند وادي الووتر بعيني. ادي الساند تحت اهو and this ايه؟ water. Okay, and here we can't differentiate by naked eyes between salt and water or sugar and water. So here, dear students, we have 2 main types of mixtures as we have number one, as we see, homogeneous or homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture هو solution as solute distributed regularly in solvent. تمام؟ As we see here, some solute distributed regularly in solvent, so they can't differentiate. ما اقدرش اميز ما بينهم. As this cup of tea, we can't differentiate between tea, sugar, and water. Is homogeneous. And at the same time here we have during cooking وانا بطبخ مثلا we can't differentiate between salt, pepper, and مثلا juice or tomato juice اللي هي الصلصه and any components because solid distributed regularly in solvent. Okay.
All right, we've got a caller, Alia from Cairo. Hello, Alia.
Hello, Mr.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
You've been following us from the start of the show?
Yeah, kind of.
How are you, Alia?
Kind of. Okay, Alia, do you have any questions?
Yes.
Okay, your question. اتفضلي يا Alia.
I wanted to ask Mr. In page 28 in the book.
Do you have the book?
No, بس
All
you
right,
can
tell us the question.
Okay, اتفضلي يا Alia اسألي.
هو قايل ان الهيدروكسيد ايون يعني he said negative hydroxide ions.
hydrochloric ions.
hydroxide ions.
ما هو الهيدروكسيد نيجاتيف، الهيدروجين هو البوزيتيف.
لا انا بتكلم ان هو ايون، يعني الهيدروكسيد ايون صح ولا راديكال؟
ما هو هنا ممكن اقول عليه هو as a charge as ion as negative، ممكن اقول عليه ion، ممكن اقول عليه radical اللي هو الاتوميك جروب as we studied before in first prep. احنا خدناها في اولى اعدادي صح؟
Do
you remember in the second term؟ خدناها في الترم الثاني في نفس اليومين دول. بس انا عندي hydroxide in bases or alkalis change litmus paper into
blue.
اوكي، يبقى الهيدروكسيد هنا we can say hydroxide radical, we can say hydroxide negative ion, we can say hydroxide as مثلا اقول له atomic group. يبقى 3 are right.
Okay.
3 صح. You have a question?
I want to be asked in lesson 1 or 2.
In which lesson?
Lesson 1 or 2.
Or 2, not 3, huh?
No, I
All right, let me ask her a question until you prepare a question for her.
From 1 or 2?
I'll ask it. No, I guess it's this one. All right, it's about the amount of the solutes.
She wants to ask it from lesson 1 or 2. Okay, Alia. Number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, from question from lesson 2.
Okay.
As we talk here, lesson 2 talk about what?
Talk about the factors affecting the reaction.
Okay, as we have give reason here.
Okay.
Temperature, or by increasing temperature, speed of chemical reaction will increase.
Because as temperature increases, the number of collisions between molecules increases, so the speed of chemical reaction increases.
Excellent. What about your marks in the first term? جبتي كام في الترم الأول؟
Full mark أكيد إن شاء الله.
لا 19 and a half.
Okay, thank you, Alia, and follow us in our group on Facebook and in all episodes. Okay, thank you, Alia, for joining us.
Thank you, Alia. Thank you very much. She's great.
طبعا مبسوط منها جدا، يعني وريت تكون بتسمعني دلوقتي ان الاجابه بتاعتها هي trust in herself، واثقه في نفسها، بتجاوب بطريقه كده منظمه كمان. طيب يبقى انا نمبر 1 قلنا ان عندي اللي هو الهوموجينous solution as more solid distributed regularly in solvent, and at the same time we have another solution here as we see non-homogeneous solution غير متجانس. يبقى solid distributed irregularly in solvent يعني solid distributed irregularly in solvent, so they can differentiate. ممكن اميزهم. يبقى انا عندي ان هو زي واحنا شايفين مثلا anything in water مثلا insoluble in water، حاجه ما دابتش في الميه، يبقى we can differentiate here between solid and solvent. So we have a non-homogeneous mixture, and as bottom of the ocean or of the sea، قاع بحر او قاع محيط، we can differentiate between the algae اللي هي الطحالب مثلا as sand as living organism and water. We can differentiate between them، بقدر اميز ما بينهم. يبقى هنا why اقول له give reason for. In non-homogeneous solution we can differentiate between solid and solvent. اقول له because solid distributed irregularly in solvent. Solid distributed irregularly in solvent. So dear students, here we have solution as 3 types of solution: saturated, supersaturated and unsaturated. But as mixtures we have only 2 types, as homogeneous and non-homogeneous.
And we've got another caller, Muhammad from Asyut. Hello Muhammad, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right Muhammad, do you have any questions?
عندي سؤال في العلوم لو سمحت.
اوكي.
اتفضل.
بالعربي يعني؟
ايوه.
اتفضل.
طب اوكي.
علل التفاعل الخرسين مع حمض الهيدروكلوريك مخفف، بينما لا يتفاعل النحاس مع نفس الحمض.
طيب يتفاعل الخرسين اكثر نشاطا من الهيدروجين
اه.
فيحل محله.
مم.
انما النحاس اقل نشاطا من الهيدروجين فلا يستطيع ان يحل محله في المركب بتاعه.
ماشي. سؤال ثاني بس معلش.
اتفضل.
يمكن محل النحاس في محاليل ملاحه انما لا يحدث العكس.
لان المغنيسيوم اقوى نشاطا من الايه؟ من النحاس في متسلسله النشاط الكيميائي. لكن النحاس اقل نشاطا من المغنيسيوم في متسلسله النشاط الكيميائي.
اوكي.
تمام،
عندك سؤال
شكرا.
تاني؟
شكرا ليك محمد من اسيوط. ولو انت مش عارف برضو ميعاد حلقة العلوم باللغة العربية، هي ميعادها يوم الأحد ان شاء الله الساعة 5:30. Okay, let's carry on.
Okay. As question here, as next point in our lesson, as we talk about the acids and salts. As we studied before in first prep, I think Alia asked me about
Alia,
this
yeah.
point about hydroxyl group or ions. We will illustrate these points now. هنشرح الكلام ده دلوقتي. As we see here, we talk about acids زي ما احنا شايفين قدامنا. Acids aqueous solution. كلمة aqueous هنا which means watery. aqueous يعني جاء من aqua يعني حاجة مائية. زي ما بنقول مثلا ملاهي مائية بنقول عليها aqua. تمام. كلمة aqua يعني حاجة مائية. يبقى aqueous solution محلول مائي produce positive hydrogen ion. So it change litmus paper into red. يبقى if we put a litmus paper or we use litmus solution، على فكرة في عندنا litmus solution برضو، its color is violet، بيبقى لونه violet اللي هو لون البنفسجي. It will change also into red. يبقى acids produce، بصوا زي ما انتم شايفين positive hydrogen ion اهو، انا بقى حاطط ايدي عليها اهي positive hydrogen ion اللي انا بعمل عليها ايه بالماوس اهي positive hydrogen ion in water يعني aqueous solution. So it will change litmus paper into what? Into red. As we see here, put litmus paper into acid, it will change into red color. Okay, yes sir.
Yeah, we've got a caller,
Okay.
Aisha from Giza.
اتفضلي يا
عائشة. Hello.
How? I'm fine.
Okay, Aisha, do you have any questions?
Yes, من فضل حضرتك كنت عايزة أسأل مستر في
اتفضلي يا عائشة.
lesson 2.
Listen
Okay,
to
lesson 2. Okay, go
this
ahead.
question.
The reaction between sodium chloride solution and silver nitrate solution is from fast reactions.
Okay.
أنا الإيكويشن بتاعت يعني الرياكشن ديت أنا مش فاهماها.
Silver nitrate and the sodium chloride considered as very fast reaction، صح؟ طب عندك question تاني غير ده؟
No, thank you.
طب بصي خليكي معايا. السيلفر نيتريت والصوديوم كلورايد is what reaction in from lesson 1؟ It's from what reaction؟ يعتبر ايه؟
معلش مش سامع حضرتك كويس.
Okay, the sodium chloride and the silver nitrate considered يعني as what reaction from lesson 1؟ يعتبر what reaction from lesson 1؟
الصوديوم كلوريد
chloride and the silver nitrate as simple or double substitution؟
reaction between two salts.
يبقى simple substitution ولا double substitution؟
double substitution.
double substitution. بص انت شايفه بص على الشاشه قدامك عندك في البيت، مش احنا كنا بنعمل بوزيتيف نيجاتيف كده؟ صح؟
ايوه.
يبقى مطلع سيلفر كلورايد بوزيتيف نيجاتيف and positive negative plus صوديوم نايتريت. اوكي؟ يبقى the reaction here is very fast because الانسر بتاعتك بقى هتقولي لي ايه؟ because this reaction between ionic what? Ionic compounds.
Ionic compounds.
Yes, ionic compounds. So the reaction between ionic compounds is very
fast.
Yes. So we can answer this question is a link or يعني relative to lesson 1 ليه علاقة ب lesson 1 and lesson 2 also. What about your marks عائشة؟ جبتي كام في الفيرست ترم؟
انا كلمت حضرتك قبل كده، كنت جايبه 19.5.
تمام، اتمنى كده دايما على طول. معلش نسيت يا عائشه، مش هفتكر كل الماركس يعني. ثانك يو.
Okay, thank you very much, Aisha from Giza.
Okay, so now we talk about acids, and we know acids change litmus paper into red, or litmus solution into red, because it produces a positive hydrogen ion. hydrogen ion aqueous solution يعني المحلول المائي بتاعه in water يعني. Dear students, on the monitor here we have number 1, hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is used in detergents. detergents يعني منظفات، لو عندنا بنسميه في البيت اللي بنقول لك انا هحط كلور على الحاجه عشان تنظف. طبعا هو مش كلور، هو طبعا hydrochloric acid is used as detergent يعني منظف. nitric and phosphoric acid used in fertilizers اللي هي الاسمده. nitric and phosphoric used in او are used in fertilizers اللي هي الايه الاسمده. عندي sulfuric acid has many uses. sulfuric acid use for example in cars batteries، بنستخدمه في صناعه بطاريات العربيات. in oil distillation تنقية الزيوت for example. many uses of sulfuric acid. يبقى hydrochloric acid used in detergents, nitric acid and phosphoric acid used in fertilizers اللي هي الأسمدة. sulfuric acid used in oil distillation used in cars batteries. عندي here lactic acid is produced in muscles. lactic acid ده بيطلع في العضلات. if lactic acid increase more than normal limit we have a cramp in our muscles، بيجي لنا شد عضلي لو جالنا. يبقى lactic acid exist in muscles during exerting efforts، لما بعمل مجهود بيبتدي lactic acid. عندي ascorbic acid. as we know ascorbic acid exists in orange and lemon. guava اللي هي الجوافة as vitamin C. ascorbic acid exists in lemon, orange and guava. We have citric acid. citric acids here exist in lemon برضو, orange, and the citric acid used in preservation of food. يعني اي حاجة عايزين نعمل لها preservation، عايزين نعمل لها عملية حفظ، بنحطها في ليمون زي مثلا المخللات او كده. يبقى citric acid used in preservation because it can kill bacteria. and ascorbic acid vitamin C against flu اللي هو البرد. in muscles بيبقى موجود في العضلات as we see here dear students. we have folic acid. folic acid exists in green leaves and seeds، بيبقى موجود في for example الملوخية مثلا او البينز بانواعها. على فكرة هي ملوخية بالعربي وبالانجليزي يعني عشان ما حدش يفتكر ان انا بقولها كده يعني. فوليك اسيد ملوهية يبقى انا عندي فوليك اسيد ان بينز او اللي هي البقوليات عموما. هنا هيلبس ان جروث بيساعد في عملية النمو. عندي ستومك اسيدز. ستومك اسيدز اللي هي الاحماض اللي بتبقى موجودة في المعدة اللي هو الهيدروكلوريك اسيد على فكرة. ستومك اسيدز here helps in digestion of proteins. البروتينز البروتينات يعني زي الميت لايك مثلا البين الفول، الحاجات اللي فيها بروتين digest only in stomach. يبقى انا عندي stomach acids and help in the digestion of protein. and here dear students we will talk about the bases. bases as alkalis as we studied before, and we know what is meant by alkalis. as bases here aqueous solution produce negative hydroxide ion, so change litmus paper into what? into blue as you see in front of you here, and as we studied before in first prep زي ما خدنا في اولى اعدادي. aqueous solution produce negative hydroxide ion, change litmus paper into blue. as we see here produce OH negative. OH هنا زي ما انتم شايفين ايه OH negative اهو in water OH negative. So it change litmus paper into what? into blue. Here we have red litmus paper. if we put it in the basic solution or alkaline solution it it will change into blue. واحد يقول لي why give reason for as we studied in first prep زي ما خدنا في اولى اعدادي. the same answer, it produced negative hydroxide ion. يبقى دي الانسر بتاعتي because it produced negative hydroxide ion. We have two bases.
But I have this question here. It says acids change the what litmus paper into what?
Acids change blue litmus paper into red.
Yeah.
Because it produced positive hydrogen ion. يبقى acids change from blue to red. Because it produced positive hydrogen ion. Okay? Okay. So we have only two examples about bases. Here we have number one, calcium hydroxide زي ما احنا شايفين قدامنا calcium hydroxide. Hydroxide is used in cement mixture يستخدم في صناعة الأسمنت and used as خلي بالنا من الكلمة اللي هقولها دي anti acidity of soil. مش هو بيز يعني الكلي؟ يبقى هو مضاد للحموضة بس مش في البني آدم. كالسيوم هيدروكسيد انتي اسيديتي اوف، يعني لو السويل فيها اسيدز عاليه we add calcium, it used as anti acidity of soil and in cement mixture. We have magnesium hydroxide. We have what? Magnesium hydroxide, and magnesium hydroxide is used as anti acidity of stomach. Anti-acidity of stomach. تمام؟ يبقى أنا عندي هنا اهوت كالسيوم هيدروكسيد زي ما احنا شايفين على المونيتور ومغنيسيوم هيدروكسيد. الكالسيوم هيدروكسيد ده يوز in anti-acidity of الكالسيوم هيدروكسيد anti-acidity of stomach. المغنيسيوم هيدروكسيد anti-acidity of stomach والكالسيوم هيدروكسيد anti-acidity of soil. الاثنين بيستخدموا مضادات حموضه، واحد في البني ادم وواحد في التربه. تمام؟ وهنا اهوت الكالسيوم هيدروكسيد طبعا زي ما احنا شايفين مع بعض anti acidity of soil and as used in the cement mixture. اخر حاجه عايزين نعرفها لازم نعرفها. عندي neutralization between acid and bases زي ما احنا شايفين and we studied before neutralization reaction in first prep خدناه في اولى اعدادي and in third prep in first lesson خدناه في الفيرست lesson neutralization reaction between acids and alkalis forming salt and water as we know in double substitution reaction. اهو زي ما احنا يعني follow the figures هنلاقي H NaOH produce NaCl and H2O. So salts produced from the reaction between acids and bases زي ما احنا شايفين قدامنا. طيب عندنا salts بقى زي مين؟ calcium and magnesium salts. calcium and magnesium salts دول helps in the formation of bones بيستخدمهم في تكوين العظم بالنسبة لابن آدم. calcium and magnesium salts as we see here formation of bones. At the same time we have here sodium and potassium salts. Sodium and potassium salts help in the what? In the transferring or نقل the nerve impulses بينقلوا الإشارات والنبضات العصبية nerve impulses from the brain to all body parts. يبقى sodium and potassium salts helps in the transportation of the nerve impulses. Here we have nerve impulses from one part to another by sodium and potassium salts. We will study this part in secondary biology.
So is this how to answer the question of sodium and potassium minerals have a role in the human body?
Helps in the transferring of nerve impulses.
All right, we've come to the end of this
last
episode.
2 points. Just 2 points. Just less than 1 minute.
Hurry up.
Okay. Here we have two things as a sodium chloride salt here used in salting يستخدم في التمليح وكان كالسيوم كربونات used in cement industry. ده برضو كالسيوم كربونات زي كالسيوم هيدروكسيد in cement industry وطبعا glass industry برضو. واخر حاجتين هنقولهم potassium nitrate used in explosives المتفجرات واللي هي الفرتلايزرز، واخر حاجه اللي هي سيلفر نايتريت، وده كان كويستشن عندنا في الحلقه. يوز ان سنسيتيف كاميرا فيلم، اللي هو سيلفر نايتريت يوز ان سنسيتيف او مانيفاكتشرنج اوف سنسيتيف كاميرا فيلم. طبعا زمان الكلام ده، مش دلوقتي. دلوقتي وي يوز ديجيتال كاميرا.
Much, Mr. Mohammed Mahmoud, for everything.
Thank you also. Yes, thank you.
So that brings us to the end of this episode. Dear students of the third prepper grade, ما تنسوش ميعاد إعادة الحلقة the rerun هيكون بكرة إن شاء الله الساعة صباحا. و don't forget also to join our Facebook group مدرسة على الهواء ابتدائي وإعدادي. Until we meet you again, it's goodbye.